jungle and try and set themselves up for that Roche which is coming.
Yep.
Inevitably going to be a big point of contention.
They smoked up. They wanna do something while the Spectre stop.
There's a Puck down this bottom lane, but Aeon Disc is up on Puck. I believe they've got a couple of those. Venomancer also rocking the old Aeon Disc, so here we go. Smoking an enemy jungle. CML's waiting on the high ground, has the accept to complete it. DJ knows they're here. Saw him with the Sentry Observer combo. And instantly Omega know there's an Observer up there and they'll de-ward it, but it feels like every single smoke move from Omega is just not really working, Ponlo.
Yep, and I think it's really outsmarting Omega this game with their movements. Now the Spectre ulti is only 40 seconds off. It's gonna be so hard the next fight. This Spectre ulti up.
What items did we end up getting? So Spectre's still sitting on the Essence Ring. I guess he didn't really find a tier 3 item that he wanted, I guess. There's a Spectre leg, but you're Spectre. You've already got the dagger, so none of these items are great for the Spectre. Meanwhile, PA with a Titan Sliver. Leshek with the Cloak of Flames, which is pretty nice as well. So some juicy ones for the Omega side.
The Mindbreaker could be pretty cool to catch the Puck out. But the Puck has on this.
Now they're going to leave that one in the stash. As Roshan coming up. How long are we going to be waiting? Minute 40, so average Roche respawner. Look up from the Fnatic side. They want to get the jump here. Sam H kind of positioned as well as the Nyx Assassin to try and block any kind of a smoke initiation, but it's going to be Mac careful, needs to not run into this one. He's going for a TP out. I don't think Fnatic saw him. They may see him, but he can't be in this fight though. This is not a fight Omega want to take. They saw the TP out. They jump in on Sam H. He goes for a BKB. Maybe just wants to TP. Nope, he's going to get bursted. No axe for this fight, and everyone on the Omega side is just trying to run the hell out of here. Shanks using the scurry to get the hell out of there over the trees. Jab's trying to cut some down. So they only lose the axe in the end, which, considering how that looked when Lesh TP'd out, you know, obviously not a good result. Fnatic will be happy with it, but that feels like it could have been a lot worse.
Yep. And I think once they saw the opportunity, they just jump at it, and the Jab's so straight, you know, he rolls onto the axe, he's already skipping him, he's going for the next one. They understand the condition of the fight. This next Roche is gonna be everything. I mean, I say that, but I said that about another Roche in the last game as well. So.
Yeah, and then it dragged out another 30 minutes. But right at this point in this game, both teams believe this next Roche is everything, and they're going to be fighting over it till the bitter end. All these moves are happening around this Roche area. Fnatic still have this high ground clipboard, which has not been rewarded. Mac in the front lines has a BKB.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
trying to fade out the Aeon Disc.
He bought it. They sent out knives.
Okay.
Might kill the.
All right.
Might come on the Spectre.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to expect this one. EA could be fishing. Finds the Venom. The Aeon Disc gets popped.
The break.
EA looking to
Spectre.
jump in with the break. Spectre gonna go down. They got him. The Phantom Knives. Immediate buyback with the hold. They want to turn and fight this one. Leshek in the front line. Took a lot of damage with the 3-man coil. They're absolutely trapped. They overcommit. They were not ready for the Spectre buyback. Even the PA going down. Absolutely destroyed.
No.
CML with the Ag Scepter is just stunning them up, but he knows he is one for this world. And what a, you know, clever play from Omega going for the jump on the Spectre with the Phantom Knives, but they commit everything. They group up for a Puck Dream Coil into Spectre buyback on.
And a 4-man Ice Blast. That was getting to a choke point. Never a good idea.
Whew. And well, the prize is going to be this Roshan as uncontested Axe Shard as well. Earth Spirit getting that one, so gets the extra remnants as well as the vision, which can be very impactful.
I'm surprised the Spectre wasn't the one that was gonna get a shot. I feel like it could be pretty useful.
Oh yeah. Like situational, but it does feel like one of those games where it could be good. CML, they just walk up to him, pop a dust, and throw an Ice Blast. They're gonna look to blow up this pesky Nyx. He just fought back. He's dead for 80 seconds, and Axe also dies through the BKB. They've just got the physical damage to bring him down. This Spectre Basher build. Basher plus Skadi, you're not moving anywhere. Hoodwink died back as well. They're just crumbling here in this game 3. The pressure perhaps gaining them. This is an Omega team that we keep seeing dominate the lanes, but then kind of falter in the mid game. And unlike game 2, they're not able to bring it back here in the late game. It's Fnatic making the better plays.
Don't worry, guys, don't worry. This is Omega's comfort zone. You're gonna see something big. Raven, no buyback. They kill him twice. I mean,
yeah, that's the thing. It is still a Spectre. This is not the hero that goes like BKB. They've got the magic damage plus the stuns to potentially deal with him if they get the break off.
yeah, in theory,
But they've got to deal with him twice.
they don't have any save, but the Japs Ultra is buying Aga, queuing it up.
Ooh.
Still pretty far away though.
Recognizing the fact they don't have a save and maybe realizing, okay, Raven's going to get going on with the break. We need to be able to protect him.
Yep, it will be game changing for the break. The save for the break.
Roll on in. They go in on the left track. They look to break the coil. They don't quite get the distance with the boulder smash. And counter initiation coming from Samage with the blink hole. Looking to bring down the Spectre once. Raven going to die once. Can they get a second kill? PA coming in on the back line. Looking to go on death, but he pops a G, so he stays alive. Meanwhile, Jabs is just keeping himself alive with his BKB. They're absolutely obliterating Omega. Tino goes down. He's got a buyback, which he may have to use or just give up the second lane of frags. Not looking good, Omega. We've seen them come back in game number 2. Not sure they can do it again.
Oh,
Shanks
Shanks,
in,
no!
instantly gets stunned. They saw him coming. Oh no. Things going from bad to worse here as Omega doing everything they can to try and hold the high ground, but I just don't think it's enough. Tino cannot afford to die here. He's going in, gonna kill the Venom, but if he dies, he's got no buyback.
TP out.
He's got no BKB.
Oh!
The TP! Ooh! Okay. He's in the found the Ice Blast. Gotta be careful. He's out of the AoE. Slightly off with the Ice Blast placement. But Jabs tipping DJ. They're like, come on, DJ. You had one job. You were chucking him from the other side of the map. But they also know this game is all but won. 4 dead. Nobody to defend the base except Tino, who doesn't have a BKB for 20 seconds. So this could be it.
What's the most creative item you can buy here?
Meteor Hammer. That sounds creative.
You need the secret shop for that.
Dang it. I got nothing else. Well, he's kept in the fountain. DJ just zoning him away. They're going to go for the throne. They're going to get the GGs. 5 seconds left before Lesh is back, and I just don't think they've got anything in the tank. It's over. Fnatic have somehow clutched this best of 3. It was not easy, but they did it.
It was not easy for both sides.
Whew.
Raven
Big breath after
Spectre.
that one.
Raven,
Spectre. He played out of his mind this best of 3. I feel like, you know, he's a player we talk about a lot, even on his past teams. He's always been one of the, you know, star carriers in Southeast Asia, but this series he really delivered.
Yeah, and I can't help but go back to the decision making by Omega, right? They won the lane so hard, but they didn't touch the mid tower properly. They went mid, they died on 2 heroes, they gave 2 big kills, and like they didn't smoke. It felt like they didn't smoke and get a significant kill with the X jump a single time the entire game. Even though in theory they had damage with the whole wing.
And we saw it happen twice. It happened when they went for the tower, and then when they're on the high ground again as well. So Fnatic knowing the moves they need to make, but definitely Game Omega will look back and be like, man, we could have had it. But we've got more to talk about with this game. We've also got hopefully a Fnatic player to talk to. So we're gonna take a break, bring back Tsunami, and hopefully bring on one of the Fnatic guys. We'll see you then.
Welcome everybody, it's the final series of the entire night, day number 1 of Southeast Asia qualifiers. Last series, OB Neon versus Motivate Trust. And I guess the one thing that I should mention is something that I didn't even know until Ponlo mentioned it until the end of the last series. But yeah, Neon has actually gone through some changes. So Black, you and I were covering Season 2 of DPC with Southeast Asia, and Neon had Skem playing the offlane.
Yeah.
Now, Skem is playing position 4. They don't have Play Hard anymore, and now a new player, Enryu, another Filipino, has taken over as their offlaner. He was on Vice, and then South Built, and now he's on Neon.
They went completely ham after losing their second season, huh? Okay.
Looks like it, yeah.
We'll see how they do here then, because they definitely didn't look hot in Season 2. Whereas Motivated Trust Gaming, they look amazing. Like, they're actually my personal favorite for this entire qualifier. Hopefully they live up to that name.
Really?
Yeah, like...
What's your reasoning? Because 23 Savage said the same thing, but that's just because it's a bunch of Thai players and he's Thai.
biased, yeah. For me, Fearless, as well as Jackie, they're like 2 of the best cores in the entire region. And of course, we have Masaros as well. He's a major veteran at this point. The team is just overall very solid, and I think Well, you can't really call them an underdog because apparently a lot of people think they will do very well. But hopefully they just live up to the name and don't like falter under the pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it would be
Ponlo
tough
also
to call
had
them
them as their
underdogs.
favorite. Oh, sorry.
Also them?
Yeah, no, I was. They are favorites a lot, and because they were 7-0 in lower division season 2,
Yeah, they
so they're
crushed it.
pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. They kind of disbanded when Masaros went to Fnatic. Was pretty unfortunate because I think they came off a tournament win even. And now they're mostly back together.
Yeah,
didn't
actually,
ever.
Gods, you and I were the casting that tournament. It was
Yep.
Summit 13. And then we already knew the rumors that Fnatic was kind of poaching Masaros from that. And so, like, they won, but it was a bittersweet win. And we did our
We were so
interview with
mad.
them, and we were like, so how's it going?
Hey guys, you won.
That whole
how was
period
it?
of time was it was a crazy time because Motivate Trust had been just that whole year during the pandemic with all their own tournaments. They were winning like almost every tournament. They'd won not just the Dota Summit, they'd won like several Pro Series events, several online tournaments. And we're just like, why break this apart? So yeah, it's good to see them back together.
Yeah, and the magic still seems to be there because their most recent performance was Season 2 lower division. They crushed it. And now they're here playing against Neon, who formerly top 6 at the Singapore Major, and then not great in DPC Season 2, and now having gone through some roster changes. So it's not too radical to say that Trust are the favorites in this matchup, but we can get into the draft now, seeing as how it's almost done. Hoodwink, Terrorblade, Abad, and Storm Spirit picked up for Motivate Trust, Viper, Timbersaw, Murana, and Sand King for Neon.
I've been a super big fan of this Hoodwink hero. Initially, I thought it's very weak after the nerfs, but I've been proven very wrong. Super annoying here in the lane, hard to catch, can push out lanes easily. Very good +4 hero, and it suits the playstyle of Motivat Trust also very well.
How do you feel about her against Timbersaw, though? Because this is a matchup that I saw a ton during ESL one summer. I thought that it's like a hard counter, but it turns out Timbersaw does not necessarily make life... I mean, it's kind of annoying. You put out a bushwhack and then he cuts it down. But at the same time, the break is equally annoying for Timbersaw to deal with. So I see it going both ways.
Yeah, if you ever initiate on him and you get this break, he is pretty much just done. He won't get any stacks, suddenly Timbersaw's not tanky and he's dead. But if you go on him after he has all the stacks, it's not nearly as bad. So it's kind of goes both ways, I guess, depending on who initiates first, like where they initiate on you.
How about mid Sand King? You come around on mid Sand King because you and I were both hating on this quite a bit during Season 2, and it looks like it's going to be Yopaj playing that on Neon.
It could be a +4 Sand King. CTM is a crazy guy. He likes
True.
stuff like that.
Mid Murana.
It could
I
be
feel like
both.
Yopaj was
Actually-
the guy bringing like the mid Sand King to the meta. He was playing more
Mhm.
mid Sand King than any other player I watched.
And we hated it so much. Hopefully,
Yep.
I mean, you know, maybe he went through some item build changes or playstyle changes or something and makes it look less
Yeah.
game losing. But every time they played it, well, okay, to be fair, they were the only team that won with it. Sometime.
Sure, but then they got cocky and then they picked it like all the time.
And then they lost all the time.
Yeah.
I about to say I saw a few. He's always rushing Blink Dagger, right? That's kind of his build.
Mhm. And then he just would never get a BKB either. And so like you'd have a Sand King who was a great initiator and got mid lane farm, but then would die at like the beginning of every single fight. And it was not doing anything that an offlane Sand King wouldn't be able to do. But they wrap it up with a Phantom Assassin, and CTM will be playing the Murana, so what's it gonna be? Mid Sand King?
It's Sand King,
Mid
yeah.
Sand King.
It is. And a +5 Viper. Wait, was it PA 10th pick? I didn't really...
Yeah, PA was
Into
final
a
pick, yeah.
Bloodseeker.
It
This
was
is a
into
rough
a
matchup.
Bloodseeker.
Yeah, this is a very rough matchup. Usually you pick Bloodseeker against PA because the lane is very easy. And in teamfights, you just rapture him. You can't blink strike people.
Yeah, it feels like Bloodseeker with a Hoodwink, a very good support in the lane, is going to have a pretty good time this game. So I think a lot of eyes on Timbersaw to kind of cause problems, because that to me is the Neon hero that needs to be the X factor this game.
I'd agree
How
with
do you feel about support Viper these days, Black? We didn't see too much of it in Southeast Asia, but South America was all about this during Season 2.
Yeah, it's pretty hit or miss, right? If you crush the lane, it's good. But if you somehow lose the lane, you're just nothing. Like, you do nothing in the game. You're a Viper Strike, and then you die. It's like worse than any other +5 in the game. Unless, as we said, you crush the lane, then you're actually pretty good. But against Bloodseeker Hoodwink, it's gonna be quite difficult to win, I feel like.
Yeah, and he's supporting a Phantom Assassin, which means that also there are pretty much only two stuns are Sand King and Arrow.
Yeah, I I mean, you know me. I like simple Dota.
Yeah.
Neon likes to make things very complicated. They did in Season 2 already, and yeah, they did it again. They love it.
So safe to say you're leaning Motivate Trust for these two drafts?
Yeah. Also with that PL last pick, I'm not convinced that into a Bloodseeker, I think it's a pretty hard counter. Doesn't look too good for me.
Alright, well, enough with the formalities. Let's get into the final series of day number 1, Gods in Black. Take it away.
Well, the final series of today looks to be a good one. Perhaps these Game 1 drafts leave some questions about what exactly Neon have planned, but definitely when we saw them at the Singapore Major Black, they were busting out some wild, crazy picks and drafts a lot of the time, and that's what worked for them. Obviously, it was a different roster there. They, had the stand-in, and, Skem was playing carry like Nature's Prophet and Leshrax and stuff, but definitely a team that seems to, at times, thrive when things are a bit chaotic.
Yeah, I would agree. Just in the first season, when they really dominated, they were more stable with their drafts. Like ever since the Singapore Major, where they had a lot of success with a stand-in, mind you, they kind of tried to imitate that same playstyle in Season 2 with their main roster, but it didn't work out at all because Natsumi is not CTM on carry. They sort of need to get back into their own groove, which I feel like they haven't done at all in Season 2. Hopefully, after this break they've had, it's kind of got back to normal for them again.
Yeah,
I'm dead.
Well, over on the Motivate Trust side, a team that went undefeated in the lower division, but in a lot of ways aren't really a lower division team. I mean, they've been obviously had to play lower division just because of the fact they weren't in DPC seasons in Season 1, but they weren't really tested. So I think there is a bit of a question about just how good is Motivate Trust, given that they have not played against the top dogs of SEA. So the skirmish here to secure some runes, and it will be OB Neon securing, I believe, all 4 runes.
All 4, wow, that is something you very rarely ever see. It is actually almost a 1k goldie just purely off that, so very good start for Neon. Good deep ward, making very good use of that. But as you said, they have not lost a single game in the qualifier or in the lower division, so they're completely undefeated. So their power level rating, might be a little weird for us to gauge at this point.
Yeah, because the quality of teams in the lower division is just, it's weaker. They had easy opponents, and, they did not belong in the lower division from the start, but we'll see just how good they are. We've got some signature heroes, Fearless playing his best hero in my eyes, the Storm Spirit. So I'm liking what I see coming out from their side.
Yeah, and they also mixed up the lanes a little bit. Arrowblade, Baden versus PA, Viper, and Viper is already out of mana. And TB is full health. That is not something you want to see if you're the support Viper.
Yeah, this is good, right? They didn't want the TB against the Timbersaw, I imagine. So you got to. I mean, at least from what I'm seeing, is this should be what Motivate Trust wanted, right?
Makes perfect sense. Also, if you ever get poison stacks, like 3 or 4, you just get shielded. They're all suddenly purged off, and you have this Bloodseeker against Timbersaw matchup, which is not bad for Bloodseeker at all. Very good lane adjustment here. You guys spiking? No. You're straight to the point.
I'm just gonna bug on.
Yeah. Keeping it real. It's a yes, no question. He's like, I don't need to explain.
No small talk at all? Nope.
This is TI quals, It's not like they're just meeting and going on. This is not a first date, This is, it's like they've been married for 30 years, and it's like, you want dinner? Yes or no? That's all it is, The spark is gone. These teams are all business.
No, just imagine him as a boyfriend. You want to go out today? No.
I mean, or it could just be yes if he does want to go.
It could be, yeah. Makes it easy for his girlfriend, I guess, to get things done.
Yep. There you go. So, how good of a Timbersaw game is this looking? Because this has been a hero. This is our first time seeing Timber today. Oh, I'll play.
Actually dying.
Level
2 earlier.
Yeah. Way earlier. Well, I mean, with the kill now, they're level 2.5. Murana had been giving Timbersaw solo XP, like arrowing the range creep from out of XP range, so.
Yeah, Mirana is so weak, level 1. Like, you need the level 2 for the leap charges, and they catch him off guard without it. And we just saw it. Like, the Bushwhack into Blood Ride, into Acorn Shot to just slow him down even more. Arrow middle.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he TP'd mid. So he died TP'd mid. I was just about to ask, like, It feels like he doesn't have a proper lane to go to, and then yeah, misses the arrow.
I just feel it's bad, right? You have this Timber Saw Mirana lane. Usually you see like a Mirana plus a setup. What is this Timber Saw plus Mirana combination? As we said, Neon likes to do this kind of thing. But you know, it's TI qualifiers. Make it more simple. There's no need to do this kind of thing.
See, Timbersaw having, you know, A-OK lane. Not a whole lot that can really pressure him or bully him out of the lane at this stage until more levels come on the Motivate side. So far, so good.
Yeah, we'll need a Storm level 6 and a Bloodseeker level 6 to really kill this Timbersaw, but when they're both level 6, he should be a pretty easy kill, to be honest. You Rapture him, Storm with all the magic damage. Very easy to bring down.
Yeah. Plus potential break when Hoodwink gets level 6 later on in the game, so... More arrow attempts coming in the mid lane. Burrow Strike into arrow with a Sandstorm, and it's going to be close. He's got a Fairy Fire. Fearless is not going to go for it, though.
Yeah.
Decided to accept
dead
his
already.
fate.
Keep it for maybe the next attempt. I always like that when people recognize that, you know, it's done and dusted. No need to waste any resources there.
Oh, I like Hoodwink TP'd in and is saving this creep wave for the Storm. He's going to, I believe, TP on this tier 2. Yep.
What a
He knew
team
not
player.
to TP to the tier 1.
Yeah, there's definitely not a Yapsa right
there. Look, when it's Fearless, I've spoken to this guy in some interviews. You know, you don't want to mess with him. He'll be angry if you take his creeps.
Oh, I know. Like, I talked to him quite a bit on Steam. He is. He has his moments. Let's put it that way.
That's a good quality to have in a mid player. Wow. Ooh. Fearless getting away from this one. Still has Fairy Fire and Bottle Charges. He's going to pull the Sand King into some tower shots. Yopaj has a stun in a couple of seconds. Fearless has Bottle Charges if he needs them, and Yopaj has to burrow away.
The Bushwhack
This is also giving...
slightly off the mark.
Ooh. He steals the Bounty Rune, though, so that's going to give him some Bottle Charges to heal up. Meanwhile, Storm going for the top one. Can't stop it. And he's going to go for the Bounty Rune plus this. So Fearless is going to get Water Rune plus Bounty Rune.
And Terrorblade.
Ooh.
They do get the trade, but probably not worth it with the TB dying and also a Baron in trouble.
Okay. That's alive for now with the Bushwhack, but he's just going to go run into the tower. Lionax going down. Obi Neon getting PA off to a great start here.
Yeah. I mean, this is the, well, not problem, but if you lane TB a Baron there, you kind of just accept the fact that PA is going to farm. Like, you can't pressure her. You just kind of want to have Terrorblade farm as well, right? Not really working out too well so far. He's 10 CS behind.
They know Yopaj is in the neighborhood around this mid lane. He's trying to catch Storm before level 6.
That's one creep off.
Yeah. They have the arrow follow-up. Yopaj not going to get there in time. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they get another kill. This PA is getting out of control. Level 5 already. The TP only just hitting level 4. They're getting kill after kill down here. Meanwhile, mid lane, they've got the jump in. They go on Yopaj. They look to turn this one around, but the arrow is there to help bail out the Sand King for now. But the chase is there. Fearless gets the kill with the help of the Bloodseeker Vision. Able to chase him to the high ground, and now Q TPing in as well. I believe, yeah, he just refilled his bottle, so Fearless able to stick around. There's a regen room, but no way Mirana lets this one get picked up by the Storm, so...
Arrows
and he snipes a Siege, okay.
Yeah, very well done there. And I would imagine if the Sand King hits that Burrow Strike down and the Storm is dead and not the Sand King. Like, that was a rough miss there on the Burrow. Pretty uncharacteristic of Yopaj. He's usually the most stable player in the Neon lineup, I would say.
Trying to play very aggressive. This at times has been the Neon, you know, way of playing Dota. It's like all in aggression. Roaming forward position, I feel like, is not something we're seeing from most teams, but Neon going full on roam with the CTM Mirana. He does have ancient stacks that he's been prepping as well to fall back for, but not really a good hero to farm this until PA gets Battle Fury.
Yep. PA and potentially Timbersaw can help now that all the pure damage works on them. But it's probably going to be reserved for the PA, who is going Battle Fury. And what is this Bloodseeker going to do? He's level 6 now. Hasn't really made a move with the Rapture yet. Is someone going to come to him, or is he going to come to them? The real question here.
he's holding his own. Did you expect him to do so well against the Timbersaw lane?
Yeah, it's a pretty free lane for Bloodseeker actually. You just farm the creeps. He can't really harass you out because you get all that health back from the thirst. Which is also why they landed this way, of course. But Terrorblade is really struggling quite a bit. He's already 900 net worth behind the PA here.
Yeah, it does feel like TB is just counting down the time before he goes jungle, and that time may be now. He's backing off, leaving this bottom lane, so...
Yep. Meta to jungle. TB thinks. I mean, he's just probably one of the fastest, if not the fastest jungler in the game, right? So he doesn't really mind having to go there.
I mean, this is kind of just his job now for the next, what, 5+ minutes. It's just to farm jungle camps, I guess. There's not really a whole lot more for him. The playmaking needs to come from the Bloodseeker and perhaps the Storm Spirit, it feels like.
Yeah, Bloodseeker is very close to his hood. Then maybe after that he will be starting to be a little bit more aggressive. But so far, pretty passive game here from Trust.
I feel like, yeah, this start is favoring Neon. Like, Bloodseeker's not really like the easiest hero to make plays with, and then, you know, your supporting cast, Hooping's pretty good, but Abaddon's a pretty passive hero, so... Hoping Neon's going to feel good about this, although... What a time for a pause.
Yep, lagging? No. Damn.
What, is he giving him the no?
Not.
Go and
oh, a bit!
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
Is the C server spiking then?
But we're fine. Alright, jump top. Both teams have time to prepare for this one. Timbersaw already trying to chain away with the Ruptron. There's the pull, but don't think he's going to be able to TP away from this one. They had the Bushwhack ready.
Yep, that's what we spoke about.
Timbersaw.
Storm rotation comes in, you get Ruptured, you're just dead. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Perfect counter to Timbersaw. And
often that's where we see a counterplay somewhere else on the map.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem now is for this Radiant side is Timbersaw doesn't really feel like a threat at all. It's not your usual Timber game where you're just free, you take the tier 1 tower and you start snowballing. I'm a little bit afraid for him, because as the game goes on, it's only going to get harder for him.
Yeah. Is that just because of the heroes Neon have, or anything else that makes this a tough Timber game?
Yeah, it's only the heroes they have. Like this Bloodseeker, Storm, Hoodwink, the three of them will at every stage of the game be able to kill him, which is something Timbersaw hates.
Yep. My question, I mean, obviously we're seeing why maybe teams let Timbersaw through in this game, but I feel like every other game in series, teams are just banning Timber. It feels like there are a number of counters, but why do you think teams are still banning it regardless?
It's just very tough to deal with, right? Like imagine they just go standard lanes and Terrorblade is there, then the scenario that we spoke about might occur. Where he just takes one tower, starts getting all these tanky items really fast, and then suddenly he is unkillable. But because of the way they laned, they sort of shut him down. Blink away.
Stealing the stacks. Oh, we got the rune too. That could help him out. Oh, Bushwhack onto the illusions, as well as the Sanking, and get out, but he stole, I believe, a triple stack there in the jungle. So nice little pickup for Yokaj.
Yep.
And it's go time. He's got Sanking with his Blink Dagger. They're going to rotate up top. Masaros in trouble. Arrow to follow up the Blink stun. There's no backup. They're going to leave him go, and now Timber's online.
Yep. Easy kill for them. PA is just freely farming away. Only about 1,000 gold away from a Battle Fury, and that Ancient stack is still waiting. It's a massive one.
Yeah. That's scary, because the second Battle Fury comes, it's like there's going to be like a 2,000 gold injection to the PA to go with the Battle Fury.
How many stacks is that? 5? About to be 6, I think. Can't even see it properly.
For another.
The creeps don't even know.
Yeah, 3 big golems and then 2 lizard camps, I want to say.
No,
No,
so
3
5.
lizard. It's a 6 stack. It's 6.
And
He's already
7
got
after
6.
this or
Can
what?
he get 7?
Oh, the PA blocked it! PA, you blocked your own
PA?
stack!
Oh. Isn't there a limit on how many times you can stack neutral
I
damages, or am
think
making
so,
it
but
up?
I don't know what the limit is. But PA got
'Cause there used
aggroed
to
by the
be-
lizards, and then the lizard just stood in the
Yeah.
creep camp.
Yeah.
Natsumi. He's just trying to help you, you know? And himself, of course. But mainly you.
He's like, okay, I want to farm my Battle Fury as fast as possible because those Ancients are looking mighty, mighty juicy. Meanwhile, top lane, Timber tries to chain away, gets cancelled. Now, the Rupture, well, he's actually going to stay alive. The Moonlight Shadow is there, and now PA shows up to, well, scare them off a little bit. I believe they had protection. They just did not feel confident about the fight.
Yeah, a little bit too much backup right off the bat there. Timbersaw is still tanky. Can I kill him?
Ooh, Epicenter being viewed. Fearless gets caught by the arrow just before the zip. Nicely
Good timing
executed,
there.
and Yeah, Obi Neon kind of running over this game. This is not looking very close so far.
The scary part of this game is going to be when the BKBs come online. They don't have any BKB piercing abilities, and they have a +5 Viper. It doesn't really offer any sort of stun or disable. So even though the early game looks good, their draft is very early game oriented.
I'll take your tribute.
In the support Viper, 5-position Viper getting some farm and alone time down bottom, level 8.
He has been here
Ready,
for
so.
a good 3-4 minutes now. Soaking up camps, all the experience. He's almost the same.
He's not needed here. That doesn't isn't really much of a playmaker role now. So he's have to kind of tradition. He's got a mech queued up. He's hella farmed.
They're kind of playing like a Rubik or like a Lina, just push out waves, play it really safe. And like Trient, I guess, is a better comparison. Would just sit down and keep spamming it
Here we
out.
go. Anna going for the 7 stack. And get that. He got it.
You can probably do an 8. He's there. Walk so far away.
Scouted it though. And now Battle Fury's up, so he's gonna
This is
blur his
gone.
way over.
Wait, he's at 6.6.
129. Okay, yeah, look at the net worth.
Yeah. I'm gonna write it down.
You're a carry player. You're just watching this, and you're loving this.
I'm happy. 6, already 1,000. The big creeps aren't even dead yet.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Keep going, Natsumi. Black's almost there.
Okay,
All right,
that's 1.2k
Okay,
gold
gold.
gain.
1.2k goal. Okay.
Probably 2k though, with the Mirana also getting all the stack bounty. Massive gold infusion for this.
Radiant's
And they just didn't contest anything. They didn't even get the bot tower in the meantime.
They are going to contest this 14-minute bottom rune, but Sankin going for a TP out will get cancelled. They follow up with a nice bush sharpshooter to finish off the kill.
This TP was so
good
close.
pickup.
It was 0.1 seconds for completion.
Radiant's bottom tower.
He had the right
Much
idea.
He did.
That is much needed for Motivate Trust because things are really slipping away from this game. They're getting heavily outfarmed across all positions. TB's caught up and done well in the jungle, but PA with that ancient stack is just skyrocketed ahead.
Dire's top
But the
tower
matchup is very TB favored come mid-late game. Like, PA can almost never ever fight a Terror Blade once he gets like 2 or 3 items. You have Skadi, MKB, Saint Jasha. PA just feels really unhappy. Like, they will need to Sankin to deal with him and the Timbersaw.
They picked the PA into the TB. Is that just because they think they can play faster tempo in the game earlier then?
Must be. They also picked it into a Bloodseeker though, so maybe he's just really brave. I was like, he's the most farmed hero. That's true, but they do have really good heroes against it. Like, even Hoodwink, if you can sharpshoot him early on, all this evasion, everything is gone.
We'll see how
Rocket.
things progress.
Picked up here on Storm. Instant
Big.
smoke up.
Yeah, big smoke move.
Trying to
Sanking's
catch a
bottom,
PA.
but has the boot to travel, so can show up anywhere on the map. PA could
here.
be... Okay.
They just don't have any ward.
Okay. Support fight. No longer going for the mech, has an Atos queued up. Change of plans. Going for some extra lockdown against the storm.
Also helps the Mirana setup. I quite like that. And the Mirana's going for the mech instead.
Okay. So they still prioritizing getting the item.
Yeah, it's just a very good teamfight item to have.
Feels like
Although
they're
there
very
isn't
much
really a
all
lot of
about-
spread damage, right, from Trust. I feel like they go on one target and just want to burst at one target. It's not like they have a massive amount of AoE, where mech is really useful. But if you can save that one target, maybe it's worth it, but it's very pricey.
I feel like usually with the PA you're looking for as many ways as possible to buffer up, which is where I'm a little surprised to not see like the Solar Crest, which is usually the go-to item for buffing
It would
up
be
the
amazing
PA.
this game, I agree. And maybe he'll get it after mech. How much gold is mech actually in total? 1.9k gold. It's a big investment. Like, he could have even gone for Yules himself to get more catch for the storm, potentially. Going the team play route. They only have one stun still, though. There's a Sanking. If he stuns in, most of the time I feel like he's not going to get out against this lineup.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. You're hoping to see him go at least before when he played this hero, need to go for the BKB more often.
Yeah, BKB, just a defensive item. He had Yules queued up, but Yules is sort of the same thing. You burrow strike in, Yules yourself defensively. They're just gonna wait for you to come down. Then you're in trouble regardless. So, for me, mid sanking is really good if you have an offlaner that can go in first, like a Dragon Knight or something like that, and then you come in after.
See both teams kind of playing around this mid lane and Roche area. Neon really wanting to try prioritize getting this tier 1 mid tower. But they're not going to want to commit too hard with Viper still dead.
Yep. Also PA very close to her Desolator, which of course is her power spike.
Yeah.
She only has 1200 health though.
Yeah, I feel like often we've seen these PAs feel like they have to go for defensive item out the battlefield. She hasn't got, okay, I was just say, hasn't got the talent. There's another 200-ish health.
Wait, that's good, yeah. And then strength threats, you can get up to about 1600. That's not bad at all. But
Yeah,
BKB
Ogrex will come out soon. Yeah. I imagine she's good. And BKB probably going to be the timing. Well, not even BKB, just the Deso. I mean, the damage output now is you blink Burrow Strike someone, PA can probably instantly delete them.
You're going straight away, but Abaddon is already in prime position to...
He knows. Oh, they ignore him though, at least initially. No, they're still going to go for him. He tanks this one. Are they even going to hard commit for this? Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah, TB just finishing the engines like, yeah, sorry, bro. Got better things to do.
Even Viper Strike him there at the end. Not sure that was quite necessary. Meanwhile, buyback coming from the Abaddon. They want to take this fight. They get the Rupture out. One of the Timbersaw. He's
in trouble!
Timbersaw, but he's healing himself up. He's actually A-okay. PA in trouble and will go down. They do not have the protection for the PA. Overcommitting, and Tatsumi with the glass cannon build gets punished.
Yeah. You can just see the build-up on Terrorblade is much better. With strength threats, you'll have about 1800 health. He has status resistance already, so he feels much more comfortable to fight. Whereas his PA really needs his BKB. Like, we start a sharpshooter on her, bam, you're just gone. It's so much magic damage coming out. Orchid on top of that. There's no surviving it.
Yeah, I feel like usually when you see this Battle for your Deso, it's like you go for pickoff, but you don't want like a full-on 5v5 fight like that.
Yeah, but they were looking for it really. Like, they killed the Abaddon and then they dove in deeper. Like, the response should be obvious from Trust, right? They will be ready to fight back if you dive in that deep. Is the Vessel completed already on the Hoodwink? It is. Does Timbersaw have a Dispel? Yeah, he does have a Heal Scepter. They're going straight into the pit. Alright.
I mean,
if they scout this out, this can get real bad.
Yeah, the one big ulti that's missing is the non-ulti Metamorphosis, so... Fighting without Metamorphosis, OB Neon feel like they can confidently force this Roche. There is going to be a smoke up, here come Motivate, but it's too late, Roche already dead, and I don't know if Motivate still want to take this fight. They're on the low ground, so they're going to be a little bit careful. Yopaj could go for Blink, somebody gets scouted, the instant Orchid falls. Can they keep Yopaj alive? They can't. Bushwhack was there as well, and OB Neon getting scouted out and just losing the Sankey means they've got no sons to play around, and now the next big Timbersaw who gets Yuled up, the Blood Red not going to land, he gets Chain out of there, but he gets chased down by the Storm, so he should still be going down. So, Motivate Trust winning these fights into Aegis without Meta.
Don't have BKB, and whoever he goes in will just get Abaddon shielded, and he's more likely not just going to be fine and run away. And this fight was really, really well done. They kill the Sand King, the only disable they have. Arcane Rune Storm, they know exactly what they needed to win this fight. Where's the Sand King? And they're done. They just have nothing after that. Like, who's gonna keep you in place?
Yeah, this Storm Orchid causing problems, and yeah, Sand King's gotta rethink his approach. I mean, you're talking about like the tankiness and survivability of a PA who's got evasion plus a decent amount of health. Sand King even less health, just hovering around that 1400 mark.
Yep. As we said, he's going Yule's next item, which, yeah, we'll see how that goes for him.
Motivate.
Still hanging on to this
Such
mid
a good
tower.
job. Yeah, it's finally going down, but they kept it alive for a long time, and in some ways kept themselves in this game, it feels like, by how many fights they won around that mid-tier one. Another smoke up. Blink fire.
He blocked the
arrow with the illusion. Oh.
Well, Oh, that's 12
What a
MMR
play
right
from
there.
Jackie. If you wonder what it looked like, if you wonder the difference between you sitting at home and Jackie, that right there, that's a small little glimpse.
And it wasn't just random, like he was actively controlling it.
So, it feels like Radiant teams trying to smoke up in this dire triangle just so often get foiled by like a support standing there or an observer wood combo, and we're seeing Neon kind of for the second time in this game go for a smoke play and just not able to really connect.
I mean, this is really what this Abaddon hero is so good at, right? Like you just run into 5 heroes, and most of the time you won't even die. Because they know if they hard commit their spells on you, you will most likely lose the fight anyways.
So.
No, they have a 4k gold lead, but I feel like it's a little bit deceiving. Like their actual fighting power doesn't feel that strong, right? The Sand King, PA still, like they all just feel pretty weak. They deal a lot of damage, but they're all glass cannons. Or something like that.
Yep. Storm perhaps a little underfarmed, but still making big plays and getting great initiation. So Fearless this game even without the farm.
Yep. He's going straight into BKB. But once that's online, he should be feeling a lot.
Hasn't gone to BKB yet, and they may just go through the burrow strike. Yopaj unable to connect with your timing the full lightning. They are going to go for the Abaddon, who gets forced to pop his ultimate, gets arrowed on the come down, and Fearless TP out will just make it out. So you mentioned the Abaddon, and sometimes his job it can just be to tank the gank. He doesn't have buyback, and he's actually got a long respawn timer because he used buyback earlier, so not
I
ideal.
think they should know this. He was dead for like a minute. Gives PA time to... Oh, she already has her BKB. I mean, she's actually really filthy rich.
Yeah, when they jumped her, I don't think she had it, but it was coming out in the courier, I guess, so...
Yeah. It should just be a free tier 2. I don't think they can defend this at all. And then an outpost follow right after. Okay. Aeroblade though,
but still
400 gold of Skadi. Like, once he has that, I feel like he's almost nigh unkillable here.
So still you feel like there is kind of this timer on OB Neon where Motivate Trust are, you know, with the TB, even the Storm late game are still pretty comfortable?
Yeah, I think so. Also, the only BKB they have right now is on the PA. All other 4 heroes are Sunder targets.
Yep.
Look at his health. 2.6k health without strength threats. Still holding on to the raindrop as well. Tanky beast.
Has a growth bow to go with the Dragonlance, so he's going to have plenty of attack range to play around.
And the smokes have not been working out at all for Neon. That is the 3rd one into the triangle, where his support just sits there and is like, hi, I'm out.
Even the times they've killed the Abaddon, it's kind of not really led to anything, so... Been able to... Yeah, they're up 5k gold despite being, you know, 8 to 9 kills. They've managed to farm the map better and kind of... They've been the strong... Like, they're a stronger team, but they just can't fight the fights they're looking for.
Yeah. Aeroblade is still very happy. Curious to see what item he's going for next. Like, this will really tell us a lot. If he's going BKB or MKB.
Yeah, I was going to ask, TBs don't normally like to build MKB, but obviously playing in the PA, how soon do you think he needs it? Hold that thought. They jump in on the Storm for the immediate shield. So there's no follow-up, and they're just going to turn this around on the Sand King, who gets deleted. That was not going to work when an Abaddon's sitting behind the Storm. Linex knows his job. Sit behind my Storm. If he gets blink stunned, shield him.
Yeah, and as always spoke about, Sand King blinks in. What is your get out of jail card? You don't have any. You're just dead. And I think he died in like, what, 1 second there? Pretty fast death.
He melted. It definitely feels rough when you're kind of the only stun. I mean, there's the Moran arrow follow-up, and the Abaddon is just going to always be able to just shield that off.
I feel like it's similar to when you're just Faceless Void that is the only disable in your team. Like, you're forced to make so many risky plays because you're the only playmaker you have. Most of doesn't feel very impactful. Like, he felt very pressured to stun the Storm there. Ends up in him dying. It's just a bad feeling. Now Storm has his BKB finished. PA is the only damage through that. Okay, so TB is actually going MKB. I liked it quite a bit. He's very tanky. And he recognizes the only threat they really have is this PA. Once he has MKB online, she's not a threat anymore to Terrabit at all.
You mentioned all the Sunder targets. On top of that, you've got an Abaddon to back you up, so it does feel like he's got plenty of defensive options. Lotus on the Timber, going to protect Mantis Storm. They get a nice 2-man Burrow Strike, but Abaddon immediately borrowed times off the 2-man Burrow and shields his Storm. Great defensive play from Lionex just to make sure Fearless gets out of there.
Yeah.
But Storm does commit the BKB.